C-Red Nation, Locked On family. On today's episode of Locked On Bulls, we're going to be previewing Game 3, Bulls-Bucks in the UC, and it starts right now.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is good, y'all? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every single day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And listen, we want to hear from you guys, the fans, when we're sitting here talking about all this as well. So comment below on the YouTube side, or if you're on the podcast side, comment in on what we're talking about with a 5-star review. We'd love to hear from you as well. And you already know we're going to have a mailbag episode coming up where we're going to dig into those comments as well. But as we're getting into today, we got Game 3 at the UC, Bulls-Bucks. You already know we're hype about this one, right? And previewing this game, looking at everything that is going into this, right? The Bulls have such a chance to turn the tide and put the playoffs on their ear. Bucks come into this game. Drew Holiday hasn't had the greatest game. He's been very turnover heavy. The Bulls have done an excellent job defending him. Chris Middleton, who finally seemed like he was starting to get his game going, unfortunately is out with an MCL sprain. He has been upgraded to being out 3 to 4 weeks per Woj today. So he's going to miss this entire series. And now you start to see where the momentum for the Chicago Bulls can come in here. They're coming into the UC, Game 3. We're of course, going to key in on some specific players that we need to see take off here, right? But this is an opportunity where the Bulls can absolutely change the landscape and have the Bucks moving the other way, especially with yours truly, Chicago sports fans, Chicago Bulls fans, C-Red Nation sitting in the building with you. And here's what I mean by that, right? Like, it's such a different vibe. I've said this a couple of times, but it's such a different vibe when you're in the UC and the playoffs are going on. The building literally rocks. The building literally shakes. And the only person that's really experienced that is what, Giannis? I think Giannis was the only one there last time the Bucks and the Bulls played in the playoffs. And here's the difference, right? Now the Bulls are going to get the feed off of that, just like the Bucks got the feed off of their fan base and get hype and get it going, you know what I'm saying? And Bobby Portis, who, by the way, is going to be back. He wasn't listed on the injury report after getting that cut over the eye. I guess there was no concussion issues with him as well, so that's good to hear from Bobby Portis. But Bobby Portis will be back, so that's big for the Milwaukee Bucks in that situation. But if you really look at this series, right, Giannis has gotten to the free throw line a lot. A lot of things have been very similar to how the Bucks have played this entire season, but you haven't seen that scoring from Drew Holiday that we're used to seeing. Drew Holiday was absolutely cooking at points this season. For a good chunk of this season, he was absolutely cooking, right? And then we haven't seen, and now we won't get to see that game where Chris Middleton really elevates the game. I said over on the Windy City Breeze that Chris Middleton is kind of like the garnish on his team, that mint that they put on the creme brulee, right? You know what I'm talking about with that? The little green leaf thing is mint, right? I don't know. But anyway, like, he's that piece, right? You just stick that on top, cherry on top. Let's make it happen. And the reason I say that is because when all three of them are on the floor, Giannis, Drew, Middleton, their game gets elevated to a point to where they're pretty much unbeatable. They're above 800. But when just one of them is missing, that drops to a 500 win percentage. And here's the thing on top of that, the Bulls are 65% with the win percentage at home. So at home, they're going to play better. At home, you would expect, right? It's usually where you see your rookies and your younger guys play better. Your guys that aren't the big names play better, right? Because they're more comfortable on their own rims. So you would hope you would get a little more contribution from Kobe White. You would hope that you would get a little more contribution from Ayo Dosunmu. We saw a contribution from P. Will in Game 2. Does that elevate coming into Game 3, right? This is, like I keep saying, this is an opportunity for the Bulls to put the Bucks on their heels. Now you've got the world champions going the other direction in this situation, right? And that changes so much just by getting in the building, and you have to start out the way you did. You have to start out running, attacking. Don't give them any easy opportunities. Don't give them a chance to get themselves set up. You know what I'm saying? The thing that the Bulls did early, especially on the defensive side, when they got a steal, they didn't wait for the Bucks to get set up. They took off. They were down the court, dropping the ball off, diming it up, lay. And here's the one thing that I will say, right? And as something that Alex Caruso said in the post-game little video snippet that the Bulls dropped. If you haven't seen it, go check it out over on the Bulls Twitter, man. But it's just human nature, right? The team that loses usually comes out hungrier. And we saw it last night with what Minnesota started the game with, right? How they started the game. Minnesota started that game off absolutely destroying Memphis. But as the game worked on, as it kept going, they weren't able to maintain that level of play. That's the part that the Bulls have to identify, because you know that, listen, that's not the same team. Giannis is going to come out full force. He's going to be attacking. He's going to be trying to get downhill. He's going to be doing everything to prove to this rookie, oh, I'm not a god, right? Yeah, okay, let me see you under the paint. Let me see you on the drive. Let me see you slowing me down, right? And for me, right, that's a big thing there that when you have Giannis attacking the paint, being aggressive, not trying to get that jump shot as much, that could even work in a favor for the Bulls, right? Because in that last game, Giannis didn't hit a shot outside of 5 feet. And when that jump shot's going, how do you guard him? P. Will did an excellent job with that. So to me, right, coming into this game, knowing that they're going to be the aggressor, knowing that they're going to be trying to get downhill. And I'll say this, right? Knowing that Drew Holiday is going to be looking to get Brook Lopez involved, is going to be looking to get, Giannis is going to be involved, but really getting Brook Lopez involved and probably more Bobby Portis. I would say don't be surprised if we see a little bit bigger lineup, right? With Chris Middleton out. Maybe they try to bully ball us, kind of like, hey, listen, we know they've struggled versus these bigger teams. Don't be surprised if you see something like that. Don't be surprised if you see more Connaughton. And we really haven't seen any of the, like, as much as the Bulls have struggled with shooting, the Bucks have also struggled with shooting. So you have to make sure defensively that knowing they're going to be the aggressor, knowing they're going to come out, wanting to prove a point, wanting to say, yeah, you got your nice win, you got your dub, that's the only one you're going to get, we about to kick your heads in on your home court. Knowing that they already have that mindset in place, you can't allow those other guys to get going. As much as Drew Holiday is going to be a load to stop, as much as Giannis is going to be a load to stop, as much as Brook Lopez has been a load to stop, him and Bucci basically just canceling each other out, right? You can't allow the role guys to get going. I can't see a Wes Matthews knocking down shots in this situation. We can't see a Pat Connaughton getting himself going. And how often this season have we talked about the role players getting going? Fork and Korkmaz. You know, the guys that we know their name, Mo Wagner, not Franz Wagner, Mo Wagner, the guys that we know their name because they got going versus us, right? How many times have we seen that? A Maxi Kleber in this mug. Stop playing with that boy. He's actually been hooping in the playoffs. Shout out to Kleber, man. Big love to him, man. But those are the moments, right, that I'm looking to see how the Bulls respond to. Because they're going to come out, bull rush, try to punch you in the mouth, try to attack you right off of the bat. And it's going to be a dogfight, I believe, in this game 3. And especially the fact that Portis isn't going to be out. If Portis was out, you almost feel better about this, even with Middleton out, right? Because, like, Portis to me is the heart. He's the drive. He's the let's go. We're going to get it going. We're going to build this thing up. Not to say that he's the engine that makes it go, but he's the gas you put in the car. You know what I'm saying? He's the fuel to get the engine going, to get everything fired up, and then all of a sudden, they're ready to go and they're ready to go. So having Bobby Portis back in this game to me is going to be big for the Milwaukee Bucks because he's going to come out and have that energy. And listen, he went out because he got busted in the eye. You already know Bobby's coming back with the animosity. It's going to be an interesting game 3 here, and I think the Bulls have to establish themselves defensively to start this thing off, or it's going to be a long day for all of us, man. But we're going to get into some other things, especially talking about that defense that the Bulls need to play here in game 3 and talking about the guy who has proven to be a defensive anchor. But before we do that, man, I want to tell you guys about Truebill. Did you know Why those, or do you know, I should say, why free trials without your consent renew? It's a business scam. They're trying to scam you. Don't let these greedy corporations get money out of your pocket. Download Truebill and take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forget about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts with Truebill and cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. Your Truebill concierge is there when you need them and cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Be like Matthew B., who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, saved $120 for the year on my SiriusXM bill, and saved $840 a year on car insurance. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/LockedOnBulls. Go right now, Truebill.com/LockedOnBulls. It could save you thousands a year. Also, we got to tell you about Built Bar, man. Now listen, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell y'all about Built Bar. But at this point, right, if you haven't tried the puffs, you're absolutely missing out. I actually just re-upped on my stock of Built Bar yesterday. It should be in the mail on its way today. If you haven't, you're missing out. I'm going to tell you this right now. The puffs are marshmallows that are covered in 100% real chocolate. It's a replacement for your everyday candy bar. And here's the thing. You're talking about a candy bar. We're talking 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, dozen net carbs. Most Built Bars only contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, 17 grams of protein. And the best part about Built Bar, at Built Bar, they worry about how it tastes. And then they figure out how to make it healthy. I don't know how they do it, but they pull it off every time. So here's what I need you guys to do. Go to Built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your order. Use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. Let's keep this thing going, man. Let's get into this next segment. So we got to break down the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Headband himself. Alex Caruso has absolutely been a problem on the defensive end for the Milwaukee Bucks. And the question that I ask you, is Alex Caruso this team's Joakim Noah, this team's driving force, this team's Draymond Green, this team's Bobby Portis, the energy, the heart, the soul, the leader, the guy that's going to get up every single play and say, we got to make this play happen right here. And everybody else on the team says, you know what? You're absolutely right. It's time to run through a wall. What am I doing? Am I sitting here doing nothing? And here's why, right, I asked this question. Because no matter the defensive assignment that came Alex Caruso's way in this playoffs, he stepped up. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he stepped up. Has he stopped him? Can't say that, but he's absolutely deterred some of his plays. He's absolutely Giannis trying to back down in the paint, can't get himself going. He's stepped up. Drew Holiday, who was absolutely cooking every guard we threw at him. And at one point, right, in one of the games this season, absolutely cooked Alex Caruso. He stepped up. Drew Holiday is having two of the worst games probably he's had in his playoffs since he's been in Milwaukee. He's really struggled passing the ball. His vision's been completely off. He hasn't been able to shoot the ball consistently to this point. He's still been pretty good defensively, but that's really the one end of the floor where he's really had his biggest impact on this team, really guarding Zach LaVine and stuff like that. But other than that, right, even that assignment changes now. But no matter the player he's put up against, no matter the fight, Alex Caruso has been there to step in and take the mantle and say, hey, listen, we're going to do this. We're going to be okay. Everybody stay calm. The Alex Caruso signing to me legitimately could be one of the best signings of the offseason for the Chicago Bulls outside of DeMar DeRozan. And that includes over Lonzo Ball. That includes over bringing in DJJ, guys like that off of the bench. Not because of he's going to come out and he's going to give you 25 and he's going to do, and not just because of the defense, but I feel like there was one piece missing from this team. That dude that was going to step up. That dude that was going to speak up. That dude that was going to tell you, this is not what you should do. You need to be doing this. And heading into game 3 and heading into a playoff series, forget game 3, heading into a playoff series, you need that voice in the locker room. If you don't have that voice, you're going to get smoked. And I can tell you right now, I think that's the issue in Minnesota. But if you don't have that voice, you're going to have troubles. Is Alex Caruso for the Chicago Bulls that voice? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys as well. Even when you see how everybody reacts around him, right? I've said the biggest thing for me is having the Bulls play defense on a consistent basis, having DeMar DeRozan come out defensively and play well, having Zach LaVine come out defensively and play well. And I feel like when they started, the Bulls defense moves differently. But even in the postgame show, you heard DeMar say, yeah, I take my defensive cues from what AC's doing. We really looked at him defensively. And so to me, right, that's your voice. And the Bulls finally have it. And I understand Joakim, somebody we hold in crazy high regard, and can we compare somebody to Joakim? I don't know if we want to do that, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing, right? You need that guy. And I believe that when you see AC on the court and in physical enough condition to actually do something on the court, on the defensive end at a minimum, he is absolutely the Joakim Noah, the heart, the soul, the engine, the gas for the engine, whatever you want to call him, of this team. And I believe that he will eventually be, even if he's not the most talented guy and even if he's not the main guy, right? Because Joakim never was. Joakim was a very talented basketball player, but he was never the most talented player on. Well, maybe them years Derek was down. When them years Derek was down, he might have been the most talented player on the team. But for the most part, right, when we think about those Bulls that were ECF, he wasn't the most talented player on the team. But he was the guy that was going to be in Derek's ear. He was the guy that was going to be in Booz's ear. He was the guy that was, hey, if anything goes down, you got to answer to me. I believe that's Alex Caruso for this team now. And I believe that finding that piece, having that piece in place, having that piece already ready to go as you start making the playoffs and you start these runs is going to be so key, not only for the Bulls coming into game 3, because I think it's going to be huge in game 3. Alex Caruso getting guys set defensively. You already know he's working on the bench guys that haven't given the contribution. That's the unit he's supposed to be a part of, right? You already know he's in there talking it up with them. Hey, listen, you guys got to give me more. We got to do better out here. We can't keep doing I watched him play, and I rewatched that game last night. I always watch every game twice at a minimum. And you could just see that as Alex's energy rose, the Bulls' energy rose even more. When Alex came over and gave you the, let's go, that's what I'm talking about, we're here. The players that he was talking to was, yeah, we're here. I feel like, not to say that this team will go as far as Alex Caruso can take him, but as long as his mentality is like that, and you have guys like DeMar DeRozan, like Zach LaVine, like Nikola Vucevic, who are absolutely going to give you that level of production, and you can have that guy be just the glue guy, I feel good. I feel good about where the direction that this Bulls team is heading now that I see that they have that leader, that guy that's going to be, nah, we're not taking that. No, this is how we're doing things. No, this is how championships are built. No, this is how we get to that next level. The guy that understands it in the room and has the respect of everybody in the room. I feel like that's Alex Caruso. I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know below. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us over here on Locked On Bulls, man. I appreciate y'all for making this your first listen. For your next listen, Check out Locked On Now podcast, nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, we also got to tell you guys about Shady Rays before we get into the final topic where we're going to talk about who is the most important piece heading into this game 3. I got to tell you guys about Shady Rays. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that gives you features of $200 sunglasses for a fraction of the price. That means polarized lenses, well-constructed double frames, and premium high-end finishes. Also, something you won't find anywhere else is Shady Rays' insane protection program. Shady Rays includes lost and broken protection on every pair. They will send you a brand new pair if you lose them, no matter what happened. Give them a try, and if you don't love them, you'll pay nothing. It's as simple as that. Plus, 10 meals are donated to fight hunger in America when you shop with Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, head to shadyrays.com and use the code LOCKEDON to get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's code LOCKEDON for their best deal of the season, 50% off 2 or more pairs of Shady Rays sunglasses, backed by over 150,000 verified 5-star reviews. And we thank Shady Rays for being a sponsor here of Locked On Bulls and of the Locked On Network. Getting into this final segment here. And I know when I'm doing solo, I don't have all the bells and whistles yet. I'm getting it together. Don't worry about it. It's going to be crazy when y'all see how the studio get finished, bro. We getting all of this swapped out, but it's coming. Don't worry about it. Give me some time. The most important unit for this Chicago Bulls team, the most important part of this team that I need to see in game 3 step up. I feel like first playoff game, Zach LaVine's going to ball out. First playoff game in Chicago, I should say. Zach LaVine's going to ball out. I feel like first playoff game in Chicago, Nikola Vucevic is going to feel the energy. He's going to play well. He's played well all playoffs to this point, minus shooting a poor percentage from 3 in that first game, but for the most part, he's played well all playoffs. I don't think DeMar DeRozan will probably have another subpar game the way he had in game 1. It doesn't fit kind of. He did this similar thing in San Antonio. I don't know if you guys saw that as well, where they had those stats up there. We had 18, and then he had a really good series the rest of the series, even though they lost. But this series, right, for us to be successful to me, you can make it 3-1 here, but I don't feel like you're going to close it out even if you do make it 3-1 in Milwaukee. I would hope you can, but I don't feel like you will. Depends on how we play these next 2 games. But if it goes that long, if it gets to that point to where we're talking about a 6-game series, possibly a 7-game series, I need this bench unit to be useful. I need this bench unit to step up. We've essentially in 2 games gotten 0 production. Yeah, a little bit in game 1 from Kobe White. But in 2 games, you've essentially gotten 0 production from your bench. And because of that, in the last game, Vooch plays 36 minutes, LaVine plays 43, DeMar plays 44, Caruso plays 37, Patrick Williams plays 31. Long-term successes are for the deep teams. Now, I don't know how far this Bulls team can go, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to be as far as we hope when we've got guys like, Javonte giving us 14, not bad, 2 points, 5 rebounds, some pretty good defense. I think he had a steal in there. He didn't have one. I didn't have one in the last game. But Kobe White, 9 minutes, 5 points, 1 for 5 from the field, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. That's unacceptable. We need Kobe White to get going in this game. Ayo Dosunmu, 7 minutes, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. And I know there's people that are going to say Billy's got too quick of a hook on Dosunmu. But you saw when he was out there, he's giving you 0 on the offensive end. And he's absolutely getting cooked on the defensive end. And it's not a slight to him. He's a young fella. I understand. It's your first playoffs. You're pressing a little bit. Hopefully you play better at home. And usually your benches do play better at home. But we need to see it. Because if not, we're not going to be talking about a very long series here. We're going to be talking about a series where even if we get to a very important game, these guys are going to be gassed. These guys are going to be exhausted. You have to give them time where they can actually get off of the court. You have to give them time where they can actually take that breather. And I get it's coming in stagnated spurts, but I mean, honestly, DeMar DeRozan sat down for 4 minutes in the last game. Zach sat for 5. I get that they want to play. I get that they want to be out there, but it's also because they have to be out there. I would rather have them want to be out there than have them have to be out there. Game 3 is going to be so huge because I feel like you're going to see Zach LaVine come out with so much energy. He's going to have that burst. He's going to attack early. I feel like this is the one, right? I said it was going to be game 2. I feel like it's going to be game 3. First game at the UC. He's going to have the crowd hyping him up. He's going to have the energy behind him. DeMar's going to go with the hot hand. Let's keep it going, right? We're all going to be sitting here. I'll be doing a live call over on the breeze. We'll be losing our minds over there. But if it comes down to it, right? You look at Milwaukee. Giannis is the only player that played 40 minutes on that team, and he's built different. Wes Matthews, 34. Brook Lopez, 35. Drew Holiday, 37. Chris Middleton, 32. Pat Connaughton, 22. Grayson Allen, 22. Carter, 9 minutes. Portis only played 5. And you have to think about this. Portis only played 5 because he got his eye bust open. They're going 8 deep where we're literally going the starting lineup. And that's going to be a real problem for us as we head into this game. I mean, even in this game, it could be an issue, right? You would hope not. You would hope with a day off, there's some rest there that you're able to recover. You're able to get yourself back right coming into this. But even in this game, right, they played a lot. Our boys played a lot of minutes. And I get it's the playoffs. I get that they're going to have to play those minutes. It's just how the game is played. You want your stars to be stars. You want them on the court as much as possible. But that's not the key for a long-term success, not only just in the playoffs in general, but in this series alone. How does a tired P. Will play against Giannis Antetokounmpo? How does a tired DeMar DeRozan come out and knock down shots? That's when you start seeing shots come up short. That's when you start seeing shots hit the front of that rim, right? That's when you're trying to fight your way back into it. You're trying to get your energy up, and it's just not there because you've run so much. And so, listen, the biggest thing I need to see in this game, Kobe White, you have to be the guy. I don't care if it's just the corner 3. I don't care what it is, right? And even, to me, a little of an adjustment from Billy. Try the offense where Ayo is bringing the ball up and Kobe's playing off of that. I feel like we did Kobe bringing the ball up and Ayo playing off of that a little bit more when they were on the court. But for me, right, I feel like that dynamic worked better when Ayo was bringing it up. Kobe's over there because now you can facilitate shots. I'm going to be real with you. Tristan Thompson, getting active. What are you doing? We need more. Otherwise, we're not going to be talking about a game 4, game 5 win. We're going to be talking about, man, these guys are gassed. They have nothing left. They're going to be looking like Jokic in game 1 and 2 out there. In the third game of this series, I need to see this team, this bench unit, come together. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know how it's going to do it. I don't even, like, the hard part about it is, too, like, I don't even know what's missing from it. Like, they're literally just going out there, and all you see when they're out there is mismanagement of the ball, turnovers, fouls, putting guys at the line. In the first 2 games, we've literally not seen a good rotation from the bench. And hopefully coming home does adjust that. Hopefully coming home does fix that for them. And hopefully we see a little bit different from our boys as we come into game 3 in the UC with the Chicago fans in the building, baby. But as always, man, I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments below. What do you feel about this bench unit? If you're listening on the podcast side, Leave a 5-star review in the comments below. Appreciate the love that you guys have all shown to us as we get over here, man. And we want to thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. Now, make your second listen Locked On NBA. From the first jump ball of the play-in tournament to that last possession of the finals, Locked On experts take you deep inside the playoffs with insight and analysis affecting all 30 teams. And if you want to hear more Bulls content over there, because I go on there on Wednesdays, make sure you go check out yesterday's episode. On Thursdays. Make sure you go check out yesterday's episode with me and Nick, host of the Locked On Mavs podcast. Nick Angstead. Shout out to him. Good guy. Appreciate him. Because I was breaking down the Bulls and I was just in pure excitement mode. I'm not going to lie. I was giddy that we won the game. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. That is at PATTHEDESIGNER. Yes, I can spell because public school taught me how to do so. And follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls as well. That's pretty much it for us here, man. We will see you guys. We might go. I don't know. I'll talk to Hayes tomorrow. We might go live for a Bulls post if the Bulls do pull out the win tomorrow. But I mean, yeah, that's it for me here. We'll see you guys after hopefully a Bulls dub, and I'm out.